Welcome back everyone to Neo Racing's Online Championship, the BTCC replica Snetterton 200. Off we go for the sprint race, 8 laps. Good start by Bidzster, he's up behind TY, an even better start for the BMs behind him, Jamo and Jay. Coming in towards the first corner, let's hope they keep it all nice and tidy. A little bit of a tap between Jamo and Keith, but nothing to worry about so far. They head down towards the Montreal hairpin. Into the Montreal hairpin, everyone, Steve gets a little tap, Blatney runs into him. But I think apart from that, everyone gets through nice and cleanly through the first couple of corners. So now we're going down the back straight. There's Jay and Jamo and the Beamers will have a good advantage with the straight line speed and acceleration of the BMs, but the front wheel drives will be better in the agility in the corners. Bidzster's running a bit wide. Runs a bit wide out the corner. Stevie's lost it in the background into the wall. Oh no, not for Stevie. And then Jay's at the inside of Jamo, but thinks twice about it. It keeps on the grass, straight off in front of Blatney. He's going the other way. He's going to come back on. Oh, so close between Blatney and Keith there. Looking for Keith. He's got some catching up to do now. That was his own fault. Just got onto the grass and just lost control from there. So unlucky there. Now let's go on board with Keith and find out what happened to him on this first lap to the quorum. So here we go into the bomb hole. Jay's looking at the inside of Jamo, thinks twice about it. Keith closes up and then he just runs a bit wide. There's the bump. Goes off, then tries to recover, but goes back the other way, narrowly missing Blatney in the process, and then just can't get it stopped before he hits the wall. So I'm looking there for Keith. So there's Jamo and the Beamer. There's Bidzster on the back of Neil on the curbs. Really trying. Into the Montreal hairpin. Doesn't look like there's going to be any moves made there. Blatney's closing up behind Jay Hewson. This is where the BM will pull away a little bit on the straight. See the BM just starting to pull away, even in the draft of again, just can't keep up with the acceleration. Not necessarily the top end of the BMs, it's how quick they get to the top end. So even though they are the least powerful car, they do have a good straight line speed because they've not got much weight on board, which does help. But then you have Bidzster's right up the back of Neil. Neil made a tiny little error. That's all it takes around this track. They lose so much time. He's having a lot to think. No, he's going to stay behind, try and get a good run onto the straight and see if he can make a move into the first corner. And he's closer. This lap he's flashing his lights, saying, I'm going to get you, I'm going to get you. And I think he might do. He's just trying to weave around, trying to put the pressure on. Really trying to put the pressure on Bidzster, on Neil at the minute. Oh, Neil runs a bit wide. Bidzster's look at the inside, but no, can't get it into there. So coming down the back straight now. Trying to keep it. Right, here's a little replay of a little bit of action further back at the end of lap 2. Coming into the chicane. Mr. Slow On gets up right on 2 wheels, and then Keith has to go around the outside. And then Jason's subsequently to that takes advantage as well. So there was a little bit of action that happened at the end of lap 2. Trying to keep with him. Meanwhile, here's TY into the chicane. Oh, he's gone into sausage curbs. It's really gone off. 2 wheels, almost rolled it. He's trying to get back on. Neil and Bidzster are going to be thinking, hey, let's get him. But TY recovers it. I mean, how we got on that much on 2 wheels without rolling over, I will never know. But that's half the gap anyway. So there's less than a second and a half covering the top 3 now, which is good. I think Neil got a bit of a bad run out of there. Bidzster's closing up. Not like anything's going to be done yet. Meanwhile, Blatney's on the back of Jay Hewson. And while all this is happening, Jamo's catching up to the back of the front trio. So this will be a good turn of events, a good pace for Jamo in this race. It's not close enough this time. He's going to try and stay in the draft. They've got a 3-car tow now, so let's see if anyone can make any progress. Coming down towards the chicane. And towards the Brundle chicane. Oh, Neil goes on 2 wheels this time. Bidzster just runs into the back of him because he didn't have nowhere to go. There's a little tap to make good friends. Coming down through the bomb hole and into Coram now. Bidzster can carry such good speed around here, but it's just trying to get it stopped for Murray, which sometimes he struggles with to get the car stopped in time, but he does it. Oh, Neil struggles to get it stopped that time. I think Bidzster's going to have a good run on him here, because Neil went a bit wide and he's lost speed out the corner. Yeah, Bidzster's right up behind him, drafting, and pulls out. Going to try and get him into the first corner at Riches. He's going to try, he's going to go on the brakes, turns in early, on the curb. And Neil's still with him though, still side by side in towards the Montreal hairpin. And up the inside, Bidzster gets him, up the inside, a little tap to make good friends, but nothing wrong with that. And now, because Neil's lost speed, Jamo's going to go past as well, so good opportunistic driving by Jamo there. Now we're on board with Jamo. This is the pass that Bidzster did on Neil onto lap 5. So here we go towards the Montreal Air, but they're still side by side. They've gone side by side through Riches onto the brakes. Neil tries to close him down. Bidzster saying no, I'm going to keep my nose in there. Neil has to run wide and consequently lose the speed out of the corner. Then Jamo can just go thank you very much and straight past, and then he ties onto the back of Bidzster from there. So, TY in the lead, Bidzster second, now Jamo in third. You see how just the speed of the BM into the chicane. TY goes on 2 wheels again, he can't stop, he loves hitting that sausage curb. You've got to be careful with it though. Meanwhile, a little bit back here, Danny Quaver and Stevie are having a nice little battle for 7th and 8th. Running towards the Brundle chicane. Stevie's close enough on Danny. Danny makes a little error. Will Stevie be able to take advantage? They're close though. Stevie's going to have a look at the inside into Coram. Stevie's having a look. Danny gives him space. Side by side. Still side by side in towards Murray's. On the brakes. Danny's not going to give up with this. They both run wide. Onto the grass. Danny keeps it up, but Stevie's going to get it on traction because Danny went onto the grass. So Stevie takes 7th from Danny. Keeps going to be closing up as well. Meanwhile at the front, Jamo and Neil are still at it. There they are. Now you'll just see here the BM just start to stretch a gap on the Mercedes. The Mercedes has got the least top speed of all the other cars, but it is very agile in the corners, so they all have their own little perks. Bidzster's lost it! Bidzster has lost it big time into the Brundle chicane. Jamo's going to take advantage of this. He's going to be up the inside. Rare mistake from Bidzster. Just went too hot into the first bit, got it sideways, and then you have to let go of the power, plant it the other way to keep it recovered, but then he just still lost time out of it. So he's got Neil behind him now, he's right up behind Jamo. Now they've got to be careful because the BM has to brake a little bit earlier, but then it can get a better run out of the corner. So you'll see here from this shot, Neil's closing up to Bidzster, but then again, Jamo's going to pull away from Bidzster at the same time, so he leaves him vulnerable to Neil. Bidzster goes defensive, doesn't want to give Neil any kind of a sniff at that 3rd place. And while he's doing that, he'll want to try and attack Jamo. Weaves round a bit just to try and put the pressure on. He dives on the inside. I think he just outbraked himself there, so he went past Jamo because he knew he'd outbrake himself and he took himself off. So another mistake from Bidzster, not having a good couple of laps. Now let's go on board with Jamo yet again, and this is lap 6. This is what happened to Bidzster at the Brundle chicane. So he goes into the corner. See there, the back end just goes loose, loses it, goes the other way, has to plant the throttle to get it, bring it back round, and Jamo's thinking, it's Christmas, I'm going to pass you, woohoo! And then goes straight up the inside, and that's what happened to Bidzster. So Bidzster back down to 4th, there's Jamo to 2nd place now, Neil up to 3rd, Bidzster in 4th, And Jay Hewson was not too far behind in 5th place, actually, having a good run in the second of the BMs. Into the Brundle chicane. Meanwhile, a little bit further back, Keith has got past Danny Quaver. So he moves himself back up to 8th place from his antics at Coram, where he had a bit of a moment. But he's recovered well to 8th place. And there's Stevie ahead. Danny runs it a bit hot, but I think he's going to stop it. Yeah, he is, which is good. Meanwhile, a bit further up, there's Bidzster in 4th place. He'll have to really get his head down now, try and refocus himself, try and get back up the field, because he'll not want to let TY get too many points. Neil's going up to the back of Jamo, but now the BMW will have the speed on the straight, so nothing's going to change there for a little while, I don't think. There's Keith making his comeback. Now he's chasing down Stevie into the hairpin. Good lines there and out. Down the straight. There's Danny Quaver and there's Jason Kay in the BMW. Still trying to get used to the car. He's not had much practice. It's not had much practice in that car yet, so he'll probably get there in a few races' time. And the BMW is a hard car to get used to, but once you do get used to it, it is quite nice to drive. So there's TY in the lead. Across the line. Start. Nope, that's it. That's the end of the race. I've got ahead of myself on laps there. So TY wins the sprint race. Jamo 2nd, Neil 3rd, Bidzster 4th, Jay 5th, apologies for the catching it late there. 6th, Blakeney. Stevie is going to get 7th. Keith is going to get 8th place. Good, decent recovery from Keith from his first corner, but he'll be wanting more in the feature race. Danny Quaver, 9th place, there he is. Jason Kay, there he is. 10th place for Jason. And Mr. Slow, there he is. 11th. So well done to TY for winning that race. So apologies for catching it late at the end there, folks. But that's it. TY won the sprint race. So we'll see you in a little bit.